Hello and welcome everybody. This is your host, Learvok, and you're just in time for more Myst 20/21. In the last episode, we solved some of the puzzles on Myst that are going to get us into the StoneShip age. In this episode, we're going to actually touch this linking book and head into StoneShip proper. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? And here we are on StoneShip during sunset, which, I mean, they chose sunset on StoneShip specifically to kind of differentiate from the rest of the ages a little bit, from as far as lighting goes. I would have kept it as the original Stormy variant, but they kept it in here because if you go in here, you get a nice view of the sunset as you come out. Which, I mean, admittingly, you do. But yeah, so if we go here, we see there's some water in this part of the ship that looks like it's become stone. I don't think it does that in the original version. I think it stays as a wooden ship. But granted, it does make sense what happens here. We go over here to the lighthouse. We read about that in the StoneShip Age book. Atreus built a lighthouse into the age. Flooded. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so originally this is a trapdoor, and you're supposed to use a key, not this one, because this one doesn't work up there. You're supposed to use a key to get up there, but again, because of VR, I guess they didn't want you to look up or whatever. The keyhole is here, and it's instead these slots. Which arguably you can still climb up there. I mean, I'm seeing enough space in there. You could easily get your hands and probably feet in there. I don't know. Maybe you can't get. Maybe we got big feet. Actually, looking at the top here, I think it probably would be pretty hard to do that. Because these are like in just enough that if you try, you can only get like your toes on it. You would just slip. And since you can only like grab onto the rock here instead of the actual bar. Yeah, okay, fair enough, Atreus. You got me there. So yeah, so all the places we can visit are flooded, including inside the actual stone. And if we go over here to the other side where the ship is, the other side of the ship, that's also flooded. So we can assume the two sides are connected. We go up here, you get some amazing music. Man, the music in this game is so good. You get a, keep forgetting how to use the mouse. I get a weird little directional thing with this compass here. It's kind of compass telescope. Get a good view of the lighthouse. Get a good view of the poles and a few rocks. Not really sure what any of this is for, but it might be important to note down some of these locations. Probably, if we had to guess, probably the lighthouse. I mean, just if you ask me, I mean, it was mentioned in the book, right? I mean, so is the ships. You might want to get the masts as well. So, as far as like all the rocks go, the rocks are just rocks. I mean, they don't really have anything to do with those. But it doesn't matter because we can't really get in anywhere. But we do have this, which... So originally these were buttons. And you would move this over. You would push the button, and it would activate what sounds like a pump. Also, this is here because it was raining. I don't know why they didn't just keep the buttons in, because the button's here, so why not just keep the 3 buttons? But anyway, they're activating a pump of some sort, so that's gotta have done something over. Oh! Right down here, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty certain if memory serves, this is all wood. This is all wooden architecture, not stone. Which will make sense because once we come in here, we're still in the ship. Yeah. Everything's so dark, we can't really do much here. Nope, that button doesn't do anything. Looks like it's connected to something. Also, I want to point out, they do something here that is very different from the original, and I kind of don't like it. Because I like the original so much better. We'll get into it when we get there. I'm not going to try to spoil anything ahead of time. But yeah, so we can't get in there. Presumably we have to turn some power on. It looks like there's some cables. But let's see what happens if we hit the middle switch. So that refilled up. But now this area is empty. Interesting. And presumably the other side is also empty. We'll check that out here in a second. It's all pretty dark, so we can't really see much in here. This little thing here, right? We can't activate that. I believe, because this is something we can interact with. I believe you can still interact with it in the original version, though I don't think you can interact with it in Real Myst either. Like you have to do something in the right order before you can interact. Oh, it's a nice, lovely room. So much red. I wonder if this belongs. I wonder if this is Sirius's room. I could have found out if we actually read the books. Actually, no, I don't, because it ends before he even has a chance to bring his son before. Real quick, in the original version, this dresser is very different. It's just like a regular stacked dresser. It's like all the drawers on top of each other. It still has the same stuff in it, like more or less. I mean, obviously it doesn't have all the silverware and cutlery, but like all these are in their own things. All these have their own stuff. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I like this. This is like one of the examples. Like I like this change a lot better because then like it gives you more of like, oh, you can kind of see the entire thing and see his kind of his obsession with opulence. You know, gems, coins. Though granted, that's not a whole lot of coins. All this like kind of fine cutlery and china and silverware and kind of fine cloth. Right, like very interesting stuff. This interesting red globe, interesting just regular globe. I love the backgrounds here. It looks so cool. The backgrounds, the wall, like the wallpaper or whatever this is. The paint. I guess it's yeah, painted walls. This here, which originally you just click to interact with it, whatever this is. I guess they just wanted to let you know that you could interact with it. So here's a big old button. It's a red page. Now, if you're playing along on the original or Real Myst, you can only carry one page at a time. Pick up a red page, you drop your blue page. Pick up blue page, drop red page. In this version, you can carry as many pages as you want. That's another reason we're playing this version. So you don't have to go through these ages twice in a row to get everything. Especially since we're going to be looking here anyway. So anyway, Yeah, so Sirius seems like a lovely boy until you get to the drugs. What? The poisons. Or maybe he's just really into hardcore drugs. You know, these are probably poison of some sort. He's probably like that doesn't seem right. And he got a dagger. This is like some vials of poison. Huh. This seems a little sinister, if you ask me. Anyway, if we go up here, we'll head back out and we'll head down the other way because we don't really have anywhere else we can go. And this will lead us to, we go down this way, another dark passageway, and another interesting square piece here. I wonder if we can actually travel quickly between areas like that. And, oh, what a interesting thing we're seeing right here right away. This is presumably, we don't really know yet, but we can probably presume this is Sirius's room. I mean, the guy was kind of off his rocker to begin with. I feel like this is probably, like, he doesn't really live in a life of opulency. He's really obsessed with measuring things. Human heads, maybe? Oh, maps. Oh, okay. He was using them for actually what they were intended for, to measure for cartography. Okay. Maybe he's not that bad. I mean, he's got a few potions here. He's got some map making. He's got a sextant. Sextant. It's funny because it's a nautical object. I mean, the only real problem is he's got this ribcage lantern, which, I mean, that's not too bad. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. And look, he even has a rose. Oh, a beautiful rose that turns into a skull. Oh, God, he's definitely off his rocker. He's definitely off his rocker. So, yeah, this is, like I said, clearly, from the blue page here, Akinar's room. We've already got some... Ooh. Interesting. Marker switch. The vault is located on the island of... Achieved very easy. Instructions are follow each of the markers. Turn everyone on position. Then, and as a final step, turn there to the. We're going to want to take a picture of this. I think that's going to be important later on. So yeah, let's leave this lovely room of death and make our way back up and see what we can do with the last of the switch. Or we can do with the last position on that switch. Considering that we've already unflooded 2 areas with that, I'm going to assume it's probably the lighthouse, right? So, we'll move over here, hit this, and we will move right on over to the lighthouse. Oh, and you got a set of stairs and a rope leading straight down to a barrel with a chest on top. So, the original puzzle, the chest, it was just the chest. I don't even think there was a rope, but it was just the chest. The puzzle, like I said, is still the same, but again, because of VR, they had to change some things. For example, that's no longer on the chest. That was originally part of the thing. You'd open the valve, it would release the water, and then you would make sure to close it. Otherwise, it wouldn't work because it's going to get water back into it. And you can probably figure out with the rope what to do from here. Like, you want to get that up here. And of course, your first instinct is to, unscrew and just leave it there and just be, oh, it's gonna be fine. No, it's not. We're gonna want to move it to the middle position here. I really wish this was just buttons. I just like the buttons better. So yeah, so we're back up here and got a locked chest with a key attached to a rope. Don't know why the key's attached to the rope, but whatever. Let's put it in here, and we get another key attached to a rope. Actually, I know why the key's attached to the rope, so it doesn't confuse you. Because originally you just held the key. I think this one was always on a rope, but then you would just hold this key and you would click it up there. Now that said, even if you have a page in the original, you can still grab the key and do that puzzle. Nothing stops you from doing that. And so here we have another change here. This used to be a small box in basically the same spot, with some like batteries next to it. Still more or less the same with the thing here. You would hold it to charge it, and you would see the thing rise. Now you just kind of click it, and it just changes on its own. And of course, it goes to black whenever any lighting changes happen. I don't know why they do this. It's done in Unreal. I don't know. The Unreal Engine can't handle lighting very well. But yeah, so now we're on a bit of a time crunch here. As you can see, the lights are on. If we wait too long, all that power is going to go away. And oh, look, the door over here is open now. Originally, you had to open the door in the original version on your own, so you had to see that square, push it, and open it. And now here we have an interesting puzzle. Because I gotta remember which one there's north. Okay. So, remember that compass that we saw up top? The compass telescope? Hope you were writing down hope you're good with your coordinates, because you need to know where the lighthouse is in order to do this puzzle. Which in this case, it's 135 degrees. Which would be, I believe, this one. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. If you hit the wrong one, the power goes out. You have to leave the room and you have to do the lighthouse all over again. It's not really worth showing you guys because it just goes black. You hear alarms. And it just kind of forces you to do the whole thing all over again. But yeah, so we went this way, which is the way to Akinar, or Sirius's room. And if we go this way, we will actually lead our way out towards Akinar. Did I get that right? Yeah, there's Akinar's room. And you can actually kind of travel up. Now, when I first played this game, I thought this was wood. And I thought, like, well, it's kind of weird they made the whole thing out of wood. Then I've come to realize, oh no, this is like rusted metal. Which makes a lot more sense. Like, I wouldn't put it past them to use wood I mean, they've sunk... Atreus sunk an entire wooden ship in the water as a puzzle. So yeah. We're going to need to lower the water now. As we hit the switch, let's see if something's happened with the boat. Now we got both our pages. We got our thing up here. We got a... Oh, that's flickering. Interesting. I never noticed the lighthouse flickering before. Yeah, if we go down here, I wonder if this is going to be on now. Yep. Because we solved the compass puzzle, the lights are on now, and because of that, you can now access the Myst book. Leading to one of my major complaints, in the original game, the Myst book kind of just comes out of the wooden table. It kind of, like, pulls itself out, like, almost like the wood is made out of, like it is the table. By clicking on here, though, we see looks like an interesting sky. Now, originally, this looked like the Myst book at the beginning of the game that we saw earlier, and that's because this is a linking book back to Myst. It didn't have the library on it. If we click on here, we will warp ourselves back to the library. And we will go over here. We can put the pages up here. Put the page over here. And you know what? We'll go ahead and listen to Sirius and Achenar real quick. See if anything's changed.
You've returned. Thank you for bringing Red. You must continue to help. My name is Sirius. I beg you to find the remaining pages.
Let me see if I can turn the audio up. Nope, everything's up.
You must
Let me restart that because I think I just messed it up.
You've returned. Thank you for bringing Red. You must continue to help. My name is Sirius. I beg you to find the remaining pages. You must release me from this book which has become. Bring. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't. My brother. And I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
So interesting. So it seems, from Sirius's point of view, he was wrongfully imprisoned by his brother. Then that does beg the question: how did Achenar get imprisoned? Were they both tricked? Sirius doesn't want us to go after the blue pages, but he wants us to keep going after red pages. Let's see what Achenar has to say.
He returned. He wouldn't return. The pages rescue me. I'm Achenar. My brother, I beg you. Be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. Egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. Not the red ones. Don't bring the red ones. I implore you. I've been wrongfully imprisoned. You must leave.
So, Akinar is basically saying the same thing as his brother. Don't trust Cirrus. Bring me blue pages. Don't bother with the red pages. Interesting. I don't know which one I should trust, if either one. I mean, really, we shouldn't trust either one, especially after we've seen both their rooms in the StoneShip. And it just seems like they may not be trustworthy, but at the same time, they're all we have to go on. The more information we get from both of them, the better. So we should probably keep looking for more pages. Both red and blue. If anything, just to help us understand what's going on. We still don't know anything about Atreus, or we haven't really even heard anything from him since the Imager. And we certainly haven't heard anything from Catherine. We're probably not going to hear anything about her until, I don't know, the sequel. Who knows? But yeah. With all that said, I think we will go ahead and end our episode off here today. Until then, yeah, but in the next episode we'll be checking out another age, or getting ready to go into another age. Until then, I'll see you guys later.